Well, they're changing the subject. That's Scott Stringfellow, the safety car driver, talking, obviously giving Alexander a bit of a heads up on how he thinks it's going to work. Nick Damon there chatting to Scott Stringfellow. Maybe Nick could actually find out and from Scott exactly what his thoughts are on the conditions.
Scott, you've obviously been down there running in the front. What's it like out there, and why have we stopped, and what are we waiting for?
Well, it's really decisions of the clerks and everybody, really. You've got to think of the safety of the kids out there, and going into the old hairpin, it's a little bit tricky. There's a nice band of water across it, and every time we went round there to check, I was getting a lot of traction control in the Renault there. Cracking little car, but it was hard to keep it on the track, and you've got to remember these kids, if they hit the water quite hard, it's a speedboat they're in, it'll go straight off. So we're just thinking of their safety, and at the end of the day, we just make sure it drains off. Now that the rain's stopped, it's going to help, and that'll drain off pretty quickly. So while we're doing this, I think they'll probably have the opportunity to shift some other cars, probably.
That's great, thanks, Scott. Well, there we are. It looks like the rain will drop off, despite the fact that the puddles will drop, and therefore they'll be able to get this going again, but who knows when.
Thanks, Nick. Good spot picking up Scott Stringfellow there. A rather bemused Alexander Sims. Scott Stringfellow, you might not know, but he has a very famous name and a very famous father. Yes, he is related, son of, and was also a very tidy racing driver in his time, racing in Formula Vauxhall Lotus and Formula 3. And he's in the orange and striped helmet and has become a fixture of the British Touring Car Championship. All the different touring car safety cars that are out there are driven throughout the day by Scott, and he brings an added level of professionalism to the job, and it's key, I suppose, as Alan Hyde's just jumping in to have a word with him for the circuit PA. Well, nothing happening here at the moment. How many times have I said that? You're not missing any action as the whole of round 11 of the Formula Renault UK Championship are lined up line astern behind that Renault Megane. Let's take a short break from what's going on here at Donington and pray for a little lighter weather when we come back here on Satanta Sports.